Well, well. Good evening out there, everyone. How are we doing today? Um, Thank you for stopping in. Hoping you can see from the title that today we're going to talk a little bit about discipline. Um, I believe it's very important to understand discipline. Of course, discipline is what drives us pretty much in every area of accomplishment that someone would seek to achieve. There needs to be discipline. And I think what we need to figure out, I think what's going to be a big part about us being disciplined, one of the things that's going to need to be figured out is what's the difference between discipline or what's the requirement for discipline? And then understanding the difference between uh, being disciplined and just kind of doing the same thing in repetition, right? So oftentimes we get confused. Hey, well, I keep doing the same thing. I think recently I heard Myron Golden talking about when you're doing something and then you keep doing that same thing over and over, like, and you just keep doing it harder, but you're not going anywhere. That's not necessarily a showing of discipline. It's a showing of doing the same behavior over and over again. But is it truly discipline? And sometimes we get into like auto drive in our life, and it's like, yo, whatever I'm doing, like I'm gonna do it until it works. Well, sometimes what we're doing is never gonna work. So we need to be doing something different. And I think the biggest way to do that is through discipline. Um, I believe discipline as a personal trainer, that used to be one of the biggest things I would have to talk to my clients about. Like, it's awesome that people want to take on physical challenges. I want to improve my life. I want to lose weight. I want to become more healthy. And for a lot of people, it's really not about whether or not they're actually losing weight. I had clients I used to work with who their biggest thing, honestly, was just being able to um, get back into a pair of jeans that they were in a couple of years before, right? And so I found out when I was doing that they say personal training, or they say weight loss or fitness journeys are mostly about um your diet. Like they'll say, oh well, it's only 20% what you do, it's 80% diet. I challenge that. I say it's about 20% everything, and um it's about 80%, to be completely with you, it's about 80% mental, right? Because the true focus on completing any type of program is going to be one, your belief in your ability to do it. It's kind of windy out here. And and then two, are you going to actually do it? Hey guys, how you doing? Hi everyone. How are you? I'm doing great. Thanks for stopping in on the live. I appreciate it. So now let's talk about discipline and how discipline works. So discipline has a number of different facets. I'm going to talk about the first two. First two facets of discipline, guys. It's going to be hard for some people, but it's what you got to do. First two facets of discipline, they're going to be accountability and self control. Here's the thing, oftentimes we talk about disciplining our children, uh, disciplining animals. And once we become adults, it's 100% about, disciplining someone else. Uh, but in order for us to truly understand discipline and to apply it correctly, guys, we got to be able to self-discipline. We have to be able to look at ourselves. First thing you have to be is accountable, right? So let's give it a thought. Let's walk through what accountability means to us, right? Am I being accountable to myself, right? And do I really believe when I talk about me and I talk about my behaviors and I look at myself honestly. So many of us don't. If we don't look at ourselves honestly, if we can't take a look at ourselves and be like, hey, this is something I do that I shouldn't do, or I treated someone in a way that I shouldn't have, or I acted in a way or I responded in a way that I shouldn't have. If I cannot be accountable for myself, for example, I need to be accountable for the fact that I walked out here in this weather and I didn't put any chapstick on my lips. So that's on me. So now what happens? I have to I have to do the remainder of this live with me licking my lips, wishing I had chapstick. But what does that tell us, right? What does that let us know? If we're going to be accountable for our own actions, and then we're going to take self control from that point on, it gives us power. It takes the power out of the hands of others. It takes the power and the authority out of the things that people around us want to say we have to do, right? Hey, Nicole, how you doing? There's a shout out. I see we have Kimberly in there. Kimberly Bird. Hey, how you doing? That's my wife. We also have Alberto, and then I don't know how to pronounce all of these names. I'm gonna go with Death Sith, but hello everyone again. Thank you for stopping in. So I want to say that one of the things that's really important, one of the things that's going to always be a part of moving forward, a part of being able to develop for yourself is understanding that yes, you are accountable for your own behaviors. You are accountable for the things that you are required to do that are for you. But that gives you power. No longer are you talking about, hey, my boss didn't give me a job. Hey, I didn't get recognized for something I did. You don't have to worry about those things anymore. And why don't we have to worry about those things any longer? We no longer have to worry about those things because they're no longer an issue for us. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're no longer things that we're not aware of that we cannot maintain our own accountability for. Part of being accountable, part of being able to say, hey, here are the things that are important to me. Here are the things that are going to help me drive myself and develop myself. A part of that is going to always be how are you doing for yourself? How are you being self accountable and maintaining self control? My clients, when I worked with them again as a personal trainer, I had one young lady came in, she had an extreme fitness goal. One of the things we had to discuss first and foremost was um, what are we looking for? We have to find out exactly what the goal really is. We can't develop a plan for fitness if we don't know what the goal is, right? For most people, it's not the weight, it's a specific look. I want to look and feel a certain way. All right, now once we've established that, let's figure out how to get there. How do we look and feel the way that we want to look and feel? Well, the next thing that was required for me was this is what we're going to do. We're going to understand what it is you want to achieve and then take some realistic look as a realistic uh, uh, steps and processes to figuring out how do we achieve it. And for this young lady, one of the biggest things was she asked me right from the beginning, well, what about a cheat day? Okay, not even going to go into the theory of what a cheat day is. I'm like, we haven't even gotten to day workout one, right? So, what are we looking to cheat for? Well, here's some of the things that were necessary. Here's some of the things that I felt like we definitely needed to be able to do. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry for that. One of the things that I felt like we definitely needed to be able to do was identify exactly what it was that she was trying to achieve and see whether or not she had the time or the ability or the forethought to be able to achieve it. And so here's how we were able to do that. The first thing that we did to help us be able to achieve it was we went into her past and we looked at her previous training programs. In her previous training programs, she had done things like fitness, cycling, Zumba. She had scheduled personal trainers. And so the first thing we talked about was after I talked to her about those programs, I talked to her about why they discontinued. Why was she no longer doing those programs? Why were you no longer a part of those fitness programs that you were in previously? Her response to that was, "Well, I didn't have the time. Um, my job, the traffic traveling to and from my job, it didn't provide for me the opportunity to be able to continue in the program in the way I would have liked." So, my recommendation or my next question for her was, "What's changed?" And this is a question that we all have to ask ourselves because some things are, they are what they are. There's traffic on your way home, there's traffic. You can't control whether or not there's traffic. You have to be able to work within those parameters, within those boundaries of what your life is at that point. And so I asked her, "What's changed?" She said, "Specifically, nothing's changed." Okay, so you wanted to do a 3 day a week workout. You wanted to be able to perform this workout um, doing an hour and a half. You wanted to do it directly after work. And in the past, you couldn't do it because your life didn't afford the opportunity for you to do it. And now you're saying nothing has changed. This is where accountability comes in. Hey guys, if nothing's changed and you're still trying to do the same thing to get to the places you say you want to go, guess what has to change? We have to change. We have to take different actions. We have to take different views. We have to take different approaches. We have to understand that in order for us to be able to truly, truly, truly achieve what we want to, things are going to have to change. Hey, Alberto, how are you doing, man? And then Zanjabel, hey, thanks for the agreement. So, this is what I'm going to say about this. And I'm going to kind of keep this kind of short for this evening. I didn't want to exceed 15 minutes, but the impact, the importance of understanding that what we need to do, the first thing that we need to do to establish discipline in any area is to first take on accountability. We must be accountable to ourselves, and then we must take on self control. If the environment in which we are working has not changed, we need to make changes. And those changes could be minor. Those changes could be, hey, I need to pack my workout stuff with me and go in the morning. Or I need to stop on my way home and work out and just live with whatever time I'm going to get there. I have to remove some things from my evening schedule. This is the first step. But keep in mind, as I always say, in my upcoming book, you guys will be able to get it. It'll be out soon. I'll make sure I add a link to get on the waiting list for the book. It's small steps that start the process. It starts off with very small steps. Small steps like literally, hey, how do I just get up at the same time every morning? Sometimes those small steps are, hey, I'm just going to eat the same thing for lunch. Sometimes those small steps are little things like, I want to send a text message in the morning to someone, or I want to spend 5 minutes and quiet before I touch any of my electronics or personal devices. It's all small steps. They're all small things that we do to begin. My recommendation again, what I'm going to say to everyone out there, and what I believe is absolutely true, in order to establish true discipline, and that discipline is going to lead you to great places in establishing financial and life wealth. First step in it, guys, small steps, accountability, and self control. Thanks for stopping in, guys. It was a pleasure speaking to you. All of you guys have a good evening. Please, please, please like, subscribe, drop a comment down below, and share. And I'll see you guys next time.